Well, what do we have here? If this ain't the chickens coming home to roost, I don't know old McDonald or that damn farm. Y'all ready to talk about it? Get music! Oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back.
I drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate or for discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toast it out. Flip my weave and walk it out, look how I just bossed it out. Now come on baby, why you bugging, we can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just a boss, it's in my blood, no I won't scream or shout. Grabbing my keys.
Cause oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back. Back with an impromptu video, cause you know, Robert has, I haven't liked Robert since the show began. We all know this, you know what I'm saying? Very few people really like Robert, and that's just a fact. Argue with your mom. Now, you might be a fan, but the majority of the people on this show, or who watch this show, they don't really like Robert, because Robert is very nasty, contradicting, she's aggressive, she's combative, she is violent, she has, you know, she's just all the negative things that you can say about a woman, especially a black woman or a half black woman, I don't know what she is, in this type of climate. Now, the reason I decided to make this impromptu video, because I was at work, you know, minding my business and not working on the internet, and I saw there is an accusation of Mr. Juan Dixon down here covering up some stuff that went down over at that HBCU up there in Baltimore. I don't know if it's in Baltimore, Maryland, D.C. Y'all know, one of the three places that be around the corner from each other. And we, the people, is over here saying, well, you know what? Look at God. You've been being nasty. Y'all making this stuff up to deal with Wendy and do her dirty. Y'all messing with Candy Eyes. She ain't did nothing to you. Y'all behind the scenes, plotting and scheming, and now look what done reared his ugly head. Your husband, what you say? You better be so damn glad that Juan Dixon isn't here. Well, he wasn't there, because from what I heard, he was allegedly back there at the school covering up SA. But let's get into it. So, see, this is what I want to tell you too, Robert, before we move on. See, you have something to lose. See, your wife, Gizzard, she ain't really got nothing to lose. You know, she put a trailer in a house together and glued them together and, you know, cleaned off the siding and, you know, put a little backyard, a little patio back there in the backyard and put some gaudy, ugly furniture and, you know, decor in her home. She probably paid cash for it, because I'm pretty sure, I know it's more expensive up there, but the way the shack is set up, I'm pretty sure she paid cash. So, you know, that's her most valuable possession, right? I mean, she got them kids, but them kids ain't gonna be nothing like their mama. Thank you, Lord. First of all, let me say this. Those daughters of hers are so beautiful. I'm sorry, y'all. Those daughters are gorgeous, and they look like they don't have none of Gizzard's traits. Shout out to the daughters. That's a great thing. They about to go on and get up out of the house. So Gizzard don't really have nothing to really, you know, lose when she doing the snake shit. She do. But see, you, Robert, you are in a polygamous relationship. You got Gizzard on one hand, and then you got Juan Dixon, who never wants to be around you on the other hand. And you know, for the life of me, I kept saying, why does Juan never want to film with her? He must really just don't like her. But then I was like, but I don't think so, because he's still with her. But then I had to go back and say, well, shoot, sometimes men need to hang on to women because, and it happens all the time, they hang on to the women because they need to, not because they want to. I went back in my mind a lot. And then when these allegations came up, immediately Michael Dorby popped in my head. But we gonna get there. Let's get into it. So the allegations that's out there today, remember this is all alleged. I don't know these people. All alleged. So boom. The title reads, Real Housewives of Potomac, Juan Dixon named in sexual lawsuit against Coppin State, accused of not reporting misconduct between assistant coach and student. Okay. And I got this from Yahoo. The lady named Wanda Giddens. So it ain't my words, it's Wanda words. Yahoo said it. Allegedly. No, that ain't allegedly, but this is Wanda words. Right? And I did go online to actually pull up the document. So it's a real deal. So apparently some small news people or news outlet out there in Maryland picked up on this story, and I'm glad they did because there was a lot of injustice done. But let's get into it. So Juan Dixon from the Real Housewives of Potomac has been named in a lawsuit. He is the ex-husband / current fiance of longtime cast member Robin Dixon. The current head coach of basketball for Coppin State University in Baltimore, Maryland, Juan has been accused of not reporting sexual misconduct between an assistant basketball coach and the player. Now, immediately, my doggone spidey senses is tingling. I said, well, what? He didn't report sexual misconduct. Let's read on. So, the Dixon included, the lawsuit against Dixon included a report from Baltimore Brew notes that Coppin State assistant coach Lucian Brownlee has been accused of catfishing a player named Ivan Williams online. Eventually, their online encounters allegedly progressed to graphic text and photos. What happened in the lawsuit? It said upon his refusal to keep doing so, we talking about Williams because he's the victim. Williams is the victim. Brownlee is the assistant coach who catfished Williams. These are two males. So according to this is what it said. Upon Williams' refusal to keep sending out nude photos, Brownlee allegedly started sharing their very explicit videos. So basically, we're going to get to it. I'm going to just read it in now, explain it to you. Dixon is named in the lawsuit for not taking action against Brownlee after he learned of this behavior. The university has been accused of retaliation against him by snatching Williams' financial aid. Now listen, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to just read through it. I know it's hard because I got so much to say, but we're going to get through it. So, Williams claimed the incident started during his freshman year in college of 2018 when a girl who was romantically interested in him contacted him online. He initially believed the images were private and in the context of a budding relationship between the two. But things took a turn when the person behind the account asked for more sexual content, and then threatened to release the ones already if he hadn't kept sending the images. So scared of what these images, scared of having these images surface, basically Williams said he needed to save his career. So he continued to send them. Boom. During a conversation with Brownlee in 2019, Williams said Brownlee told him that he had sent the same person had sent him the sexual content. So now Brownlee, which is the alleged abuser, he goes to Williams, who's the victim, and say, bro, this crazy. I've been having the same contact with the same person. They've been doing the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if he said they were doing the same thing, but he was like, basically, we've been in contact with the same person. Boom. The person blackmailing Williams then requested a video right after, Brownlee went and said, dang, Williams, we in contact with the same person. The person blackmailing Williams then requested a video of him, talking about Williams, and Brownlee engaging in sexual acts. He initially refused, but later gave into the request. So in 2020, Williams stopped responding to the blackmailer, which led to explicit content being shared with basketball staff and faculty in all of social media. Juan Dixon is accused of sweeping the incident under the rugs. Williams met with Dixon to discuss other issues, and the topic of Brownlee came up. Dixon reportedly failed to take action. No public statement has been made from Dixon, but if Robin returns to Real Housewives of Potomac Season 8, this is sure to be a storyline. So this didn't really give all the context. I watched Sherelle's World. That's where I really picked it up from. And she had all the receipts. So y'all go over there and watch Sherelle's World. But this is basically what happened. So boom. Allegedly. Let me start off by saying that because Robin, you come try to sue me, ain't got no money. You gonna be suing yourself, girl. Anyway. So allegedly, according to this Yahoo, who got it from the people down there at the Baltimore Brew or whatever the hell it is, these people is saying this is how it happened. So apparently, this guy Brownlee, he used to play for the team. He used to play on the team. He graduated and he ended up becoming a coach. So okay, allegedly, this is all allegedly. So he ends up becoming an assistant coach or whatever. So he's assistant coaching on this team. And Williams, IBN is how you spell his name, but I'm assuming the vowels are silent, so we're just gonna say Ivan. But whatever. Williams, which is a victim, he attends this school in 2018, and he starts falling into an online relationship with a, now that we know, what we know now to be is a catfish, but at the time, he thought it was a real relationship. So boom, the girl on the other end of the relationship was like, yo, send me some nudes. We've all been guilty of doing that. Girl, look, if somebody exposed me, girl, I made sure the pictures was, listen, I don't send no nudes that I don't want. When he come out there, I'ma stand behind it. Yeah, that was fire. I ain't gonna lie. Whatever videos I done made, I'm gonna do that. But I'm getting off topic. So Williams was sending photos to this so-called relationship with a female. Well, later on down the line, the female starts saying, "Send me some nudes." We already said that. So okay, boom. So then before the female asked him to go to the next step, Brownlee, which is the accused abuser, goes to Williams and was like, yo, you talking to a girl named Wooty Wooty Woot? And, Williams was like, yeah. He was like, that's crazy. This girl reached out to me or whatever. So then shortly after that, the so-called girl, which we know now is Brownlee allegedly, the girl basically goes back and tells Williams, okay, I need you to engage in a sexual encounter with Brownlee. Brownlee is the guy who's doing all the stuff. He's actually the guy behind the account. But see, Williams don't know this at the time. So Williams is just like, nah, I ain't really doing all that. So the girl behind the account was like, well, if you don't do it, I'm gonna expose you. I'm gonna put all these videos and pictures you done sent me out. I'm gonna put them out there, like straight up. And Williams is like, nah, I ain't really fucking with it. Like, it is what it is. But apparently somehow a year later, he ended up doing it anyway. So he ended up engaging in sexual activity with Brownlee. Now, this is where my question is, and I ain't saying nothing about the victim, but what changed between 2019 and 2020? Because my thing is, or 2018 and 2019, or whatever the year, what changed in a year? Because for me, if you ain't put them out right then, right after I said no, in my mind, I'm calling you bluff. You ain't putting them out there. And then furthermore, even if you put them out there, it is what the fuck it is. Everybody sends nudes. Everybody in their mama done sent the nude or received one. It's just the way the world is in these times. What? All right? So he ends up giving in and doing it. And then when he did it, the alleged female on the other end was like, yo, you need to do it again. And videotape it and send it to me. Now, keep in mind, these encounters with Brownlee, which is the guy who's actually the person behind the girl, alleged girl or whatever, they're videotaping these. So now the so-called female was like, listen, if you don't do it again and videotape it, I'm going to put the videos out and let everybody see. So then, boom, Williams was just like, man, I can't deal with this. So he goes over to Juan Dixon and said, hey, Coach Dixon, the guys on the court is really doing drugs, and it's getting to be a lot for me to handle. You need to start doing something about it because I feel like I don't know if I'm gonna make it or whatever. He even went to his dad and told his dad the same thing, but he's trying to find a way out without telling them what's really going on. Basically, this is all allegedly. So then, boom. So then Juan was just like, man, I really can't do nothing about the drugs. But don't quit. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Don't quit the team. We need you. You're a valuable asset. Boom, boom, boom. So somehow Brownlee's name came up. And Juan allegedly admitted that Brownlee had a mental issue. Like, yeah, he crazy, basically. We all know, everybody on the staff know he crazy. Just don't really pay him no mind. He a little throw. And I'm paraphrasing this story. Please don't take it for everything that I'm saying, like every word. Just go do your own research. So then, boom. The Williams dude was just like, oh, hell no. So he ends up coming clean to his father and to Juan Dixon, and says, hey, look, coach, this is what's going on. This person is the person who's catfishing me or has catfished me and put this stuff all out there in the streets, and it's not okay. You know what I'm saying? And again, I could be wrong right here, but it's something I feel like I'm getting a little cloudy, but y'all drop down in the comments and correct me if I'm wrong. So then Juan was like, yeah, but see, we already know he crazy, allegedly, and yeah, we can't do nothing about that. Sorry. So then the dude was like, Williams was like, so you really not gonna do nothing about it? Allegedly, Juan was like, what can I do? Allegedly, Juan went up to his chain of command and said, yo, this is what's going on. And them people even was just like, it is what it is. So allegedly, that's how Juan Dixon swept it under the rug. Now that boy Williams, he's suing not only Juan Dixon for sweeping it under the rug, but he's also suing the school. Now, I saw a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people in the comments in the Sherelle's world talking about Juan didn't have to report, Juan didn't have to report, Juan didn't have to report. You can tell the people who've never worked in any type of corporate situation or corporate America or anywhere where there are contracts involved when you are hired. So this is how it works. As the head coach of that HBCU, Coppin or Coppin, whatever it is, university up there in Baltimore, he has a responsibility. You know, it was like the same responsibility that dude, Undoko, whatever his name is, who was sleeping with the girl under him, and now he done been fired. You have a responsibility for everybody who's under you, right? As the head coach, who's under Juan? Everybody on the coaching staff and all of the players. They are his direct responsibility. And this is in the contracts when you get hired. So what that means is you have to protect these people. What does protection look like? Physical, sexual, verbal, blah, 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 blah. All these ways of being protected. You know, I know it's hard for some black men to understand protection, but it's more than just fighting and beating up in the streets. So what happens is when Juan does nothing about it, that's where he breaks the contract and he breaks, you know, the so-called proverbial law in the college world. Now, if in fact he did go up the chain of command, would that save Juan? Absolutely not. Because see, the way the chain of command goes is, if I find out something really bad, right? And then I go to my boss and say, ma'am, sir, this is what I found out. I'm reporting it to you because that's what I'm supposed to do. We need to move forward or show me a way forward. How are we going to rectify this, right? If my boss tells me, yeah, it's cool, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. It is now my responsibility, me, the coach or the person, it's my responsibility to then go to their boss and then so on and so forth. But you never just take, don't worry about it as an answer. And remember, all of this is alleged. So when Juan failed to follow through with protection and protecting this kid, they ended up allegedly taking the boy's scholarship and kicking him out of the dorms. Now remember, the boy's only doing all this allegedly because he says he wants to keep his scholarship and stay in the dorms. We all know education is expensive. My daughter's on a free scholarship right now. I understand. However, there certain things everything has a price, but certain things shouldn't, right? They snatched the boy's scholarship, threw him out the dorms, allegedly, and that's it. It was just like, bye. Now, the alleged abuser, Brownlee, allegedly was still there. Juan failed Williams when he did not go to the proper people, the proper authorities, and not only that, follow through. It's not just for you to say, oh, this is what I did, because you know the same thing happened at Penn State with Sandusky or whatever that dude's name is. It was a lot of people who knew about it, and there was some people who said something. But when you take no or don't worry about it for an answer and you just move and mosey on, you now have become a culprit, because you know what? It's going to continue to happen. Therefore, that's why it's very imperative that you use your chain of command, and not only use your chain of command, but you follow through. If you get all the way up to the CEO and the CEO say, you know, yeah, don't worry about it. Now you got to step outside the realm of where you at. Go to the NCAA. Everybody got a boss, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm saying that to say that is where Juan failed Williams. And Williams has every right to sue him. I would sue the shit out of him too. Now, we do know Robert said she didn't want a doggone, she didn't want to share no money. She wanted a prenup. Is this kind of like, why, Robert, you know your man got this type of stuff going on, allegedly? The people want to know your green-eyed heifer. Also, you know, immediately it put me in the mind of Michael Darby. Oh, S.A. Michael Darby. Michael Darby, if y'all remember that encounter Juan had with Michael Darby was being very flirty with Juan Dixon, and I found that to be very alarming. They even brought it to Juan Dixon's attention on the show and said, hey, you don't think it's kind of like inappropriate how he be flirting or whatever? And Juan Dixon was just like, it's cool. Michael Darby said he ain't marrying Robin and he ain't never gonna marry Robin. He asked Juan Dixon to go on a boys trip, just him and him by themselves, to a bachelor party or something of the sorts. Juan was all eating it up. Now, why is this important? Why, if in fact all the allegations are true and Juan did cover this stuff up, it begs me to wonder, why would he be so vested in covering it up? If this is the case, right? Why would Juan be vested into covering it up? Could there be possibilities of Juan knowing about it way before the dude found out about it? Could there be a possibility of Juan Dixon being involved in some manner? I don't know. I could be reaching, I could be grasping for straws. And if I am, oh well. That's where my mind went. But it makes no sense that Juan Dixon would take up or cover so much for a damn assistant coach. Man, you can get them like 90 going west. You assistant coach, please. That is, this Beyonce got a song called Irreplaceable. Ain't no coach irreplaceable. Unless you like top tier, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you Bill Belichick type of, please. But at an HBCU in college, they could have had another assistant coach up in there in 2.5 seconds. Why did Juan allegedly cover this up? And why didn't Juan allegedly follow through on these complaints if, in fact, he did say something to the people above him? Robert, this is your fault. You know why it's your fault, Robert? Because the chickens have come home to roost. You an evil broad. You evil, you nasty, you lie, you a cheat. You all of the things negative that a woman should not be, those are you, Robert. Those are you. The way you bully dark-skinned women, you bully women, you're very masculine. Your eyes are green, but you're really not that cute. I really feel like people just get caught up in the fact that you light-skinned and your eyes green and you got the decent hair or whatever. And I don't even believe in good hair because all hair is good, especially black people hair. Shout out to us. But I believe people get caught up in that because even when I was looking at old pictures of you, Robert, you are very basic. Very basic, Robert. If it wasn't for your green eyes, we wouldn't even notice you're sitting in the corner. At the end of the day, this is all your fault. Juan Dixon, blame her. Again, she has ruined another one of your careers. Because, Robert, timeliness is key, right? As soon as you get up here and act crazy with these beautiful black women, Candace and doggone Wendy, this is the type of story that comes out. Now, girl, listen to me and listen to me good. The chickens have come home to roost, and I am here waking up, wiping my eyes. You know how when you first wake up, you can't see, so you keep wiping your eyes, and you trying to, that's where I'm at with it. Robert, you deserve it. You deserve it. Oh, I don't know how the law is out there, but I know some places, I think in Georgia, if you sue me, you sue both of us. Louisiana ain't like that, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now, I'm not saying what Juan did has any bearing on you or like you were involved in it anyway. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying though is you reap what you sow and what you put in the universe is what you get back. Look at God. Now we waiting on Gizzard. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought about Robin and Juan Dixon's allegations because the people where I'm at is gagging, girl. And Juan, if you did in fact cover it up, you deserve everything you get. And I hope you never coach at another school again because you don't know how to take the responsibilities of caring for people and having people in your care very seriously. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell and whatnot. And I'll see you all later because I had a good day reading this. Bye!
Mr. Carroll. How you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.